Well, my take is primarily it's under fire because of the egalitarian nature of the world we live in. People's perception that inequality of wealth is bad. It's amazing. You find these studies where people prefer to be poorer but equal, more equal with their neighbor than to be richer and their neighbor be much richer than them, which is so irrational and dumb that it's hard to believe. But people hold these ideas. People can be very, very irrational. In spite of what you're taught, but the economics professor teach us about pure rationality. Everybody's rational, everybody's self-interested. They're not. They're mostly not rational and not self-interested. We want to get them to the point where they are, but they're not. And experimental economics often shows us that. So I think that's a big part of it. Now, there is some bad stuff going on, right? Wall Street today is enriching its CEOs and its people immensely because of Fed policy. They're not really doing anything productive, and they're making huge amounts of money because they can borrow at zero and they buy government bonds. That's not productive, right? So yes, some people are clearly enriching themselves because they get to touch the money first. I think Ludwig von Mises and other Austrian economists show that the people who get the money first benefit more from that new money than the rest of us. And in the case of the way the Federal Reserve and the banking system is organized today, they get the money first, so they benefit the most. When you redistribute the money, sometimes the poor get the money first, and they benefit more from it. But in this case, it's bankers. But look, fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with the compensation of American CEOs. Most studies in finance that have looked at this show a high correlation between performance and CEO pay. They show huge turnover among CEOs when they underperform. They get kicked out. Corporate governance in America is broken. It's not very good, but it's not bad either. I mean, of all the things to complain about, that to me is a minor issue. But corporate governance is broken. We could do a much better job with corporate governance. But the main culprit for corporate governance being broken is government. We have this notion today, I love this, of independent directors. Boards should be independent. So what does that mean? What does it take to be an independent director?
Cluelessness.
Clueless, yeah. You have to be ignorant. You shouldn't know anything about the business, own no shares in the business. But why do we trust it? This is an interesting ethical issue, right? Why do we trust them? Why do we want clueless people? Because they don't have an interest in the business. Now, in my company, if I had a corporation, I would want shareholders to be, I want everybody in my board to own stock. And I want them all to be businessmen, CEOs preferably, people who know something about business and who want to see me successful because they own stock in me. And if I'm a shareholder in the company, I want my board of directors all to own stock because then their interests are aligned with me. We don't do that in America anymore. We don't believe in that anymore. But why? Because then they would be selfish. Right? They would be selfish. They wouldn't be, if you put a professor or a lawyer or a a doctor or something on the board of directors, then they're serving the public good. And the public good is good. We love that. We know, right, that people serving the public good have no self-interested motivations. They just truly believe. And what does even the public good mean in this context? The whole thing is stupid. But it comes out of the altruistic, self-sacrificial ethic. And that's what drives even our perception of boards of directors. It drives everything. It really is the fundamental concept that drives our view of the economy and the political world. And it's what we should fight the most for.